So we worked the abdomen, yes, and then we came right up the center of the sternum. And we're going to start working the arms now. So, like I mentioned before, the arms have a yin aspect, which is the inside with the palm up where it's softer. It also has a corresponding yang aspect with the palm down and where the musculature is harder. So here we're going to start with the yin meridians of the arm, and there's three yin channels, which are lung, pericardium, and heart. And we'll go over that in a second, but first we're just going to show some nice compressions to loosen the area up because we want to work from general to specific. So we'll start with nice palmar compression into the upper fibers of pec major, and the other hand is going to continue with compression down the arm. So inhale and exhale. So this hand that's in the upper fibers of pec major is going to stay stationary, and the other hand is going to compress the length of the arm. And remember that premise of trying to keep the work in front of you and not to work out of rotation. So you do a couple of compressions. You could also, once you get past the elbow crease, you can use your knee here. Pressure's okay. Working down to just before you get to the wrist crease. This is a nice compression. And you'll notice that this hand stays stationary, and I'm using this hand to not only stabilize it, but to make sure that the arm's not rotated one way or the other. Because if you're applying pressure down, you want to make sure that it's supported and it's wide to receive the pressure. Okay. Now, the first yin meridian of the arm is lung meridian. And I'd like you to trace this on yourself. First, I think sort of remember where it is. It's the one that starts just below the clavicle. So trace that on yourself, please. And place your palm up, and it comes over the deltoid, and it goes in between. So it starts just below the clavicle, this little indentation. A little sort of there. And then it comes over the shoulder. And then it goes in between this groove on the thumb side, in between the bicep and the tricep. That little groove right there. That's where the meridian goes, right in this little groove right here. And then it comes on the forearm. Again, the palm is up. And it's this line right to the wrist crease, right? And the source point, which is right at the in line with the base of the thumb at the wrist crease. They should feel a little dull ache there. And then it comes right on the palmar eminence and right to the lower corner of the nail. So in doing the yin channel of the arm, this first one, the lung meridian, we start with compressions. Right. And then we're going to thumb this whole course of the meridian. Now how you do that, you could turn the arm and thumb it this way. Whatever makes sense to you. But know that's where the line is. And you want to keep the work in front of you and make sure that you address the source point and the whole length of the meridian. Okay, the yin channels are short and direct. They're no longer than the arm. So that's lung. The next yin meridian of the arm is pericardium. And that's the organ channel system that is associated with the protective sac around the heart. So the pericardium starts about halfway between the attachments of the pec major on the side of the body in this intercostal space. So if you look at your pec major attachment here at the humerus, attachment here on the rib cage, about halfway between at the first intercostal space available, you'll feel a little dull ache That's the beginning of pericardium. And the pericardium meridian then comes and follows this contour, outer contour of pec major. So you can just press right into that lateral border. And then the meridian goes right between the bicep heads. So if you press in between your bicep, you'll feel that groove in between here. You know, the bicep, you're going in between the two heads of the bicep. So the pericardium meridian goes right through the center of the bicep. Pressure's okay? And again, how you position yourself, you got to pay attention to your own body. You know, and what works better for you? What does your mind tell you how to work it? And it comes right through the center of the forearm, in line with the little finger. And the source point is right in the center of the wrist crease, in line with the little finger. And to get the source point for pericardium, you come right in the center of the wrist crease, in line with the little finger, and if you bring the hand back towards you, they should feel a dull ache.
The middle finger or the little finger?
Excuse me, the middle finger. I think I said the little finger. See, I rely on you all right. So, in line with the middle finger, in the middle of the wrist crease. And again, I emphasize that you're in there, and again, it's in between two tendons. If you bring the hand back towards you, they should feel it pretty good. And then the meridian, the pericardium meridian continues, goes right through the center of the palm, and right out the tip of the middle finger. So that's pericardium. So lung starts below the clavicle, over like this. Source point is at the wrist crease, goes through the palmar eminence, ends at the lower corner of the nail of the thumb. The pericardium, the protective sac around the heart, also yin, starts in this intercostal space. You can compress right into this lateral contour of pec major. The pericardium meridian then goes right through the bicep heads, right through the center of the forearm, and you'll find yourself at the wrist crease again for the source point of pericardium, in line with the middle finger. And then the meridian itself goes right through the center of the hand and right out the tip of the middle finger. That's pericardium. Now, heart meridian starts where?
Armpit.
Armpit, correct. So in the center of the armpit, okay, and then it comes in between the bicep and the tricep, in line with the little finger. So it's a straight line. You'll see the pictures here like this because this is the anatomical position for traditional Chinese medicine, that it starts in the armpit and it comes right in between the bicep and the tricep. There's that groove. That's heart meridian. And then it comes right on the soft or yin portion of the forearm, in line with the little finger. So it's going up, as yin meridians have a tendency to do. They go up because they get their energy from the earth and go up towards heaven. And it comes right at the end of the wrist crease, in line with the little finger. And this is heart 7, you feel? Mm-hmm. That's the source point. We did that in class last time, where we go into the end of the crease and then laterally flex the hand towards your thumb. You'll feel the dull ache. That's heart meridian. And then when the heart meridian, this yin meridian of the arm, comes up on the hand, it goes in the palm, in between the 4th and 5th metacarpal, and then it comes up on the side of the little finger and ends at the lower corner of the nail of the little finger. That's heart meridian. Okay, so lung, pericardium, heart. All the source points for the yin meridians of the arm, lung, pericardium, and heart, are on the wrist crease. The lung source point is at the end of the wrist crease, in line with the thumb. The pericardium source point is right in the middle of the wrist crease, in line with the middle finger. And the heart source point is on the ulnar end of the wrist crease, in line with the little finger. Okay, so they all start in and around the chest and end on the hand, the end meridians.